What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Estate Podcast, episode 209. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm here without him.
Back. Last week I
Yeah.
was moving, so
Yeah. To an undisclosed
the
location in
compound.
Bruce Campbell's backyard.
Yeah, for real.
He had to find him. Had to find him another tree.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that's what you got to do, man.
But
Don't
we're
we
back
all, yeah.
online. We got internet. We're up and running. Yeah. So,
Was the
what?
check in the mail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check was in the mouth. Brian did a really good job. But it's his job, so.
He better do a fucking good job, right?
Yeah, but last week we watched Doors,
Yes.
which was kind of like a series of short stories that all made one story. And then this week we did Godzilla
Yep.
versus King
God-
Kong.
Godzilla versus. Y'all want to go through Doors first? And go
Yeah,
ahead
I
and
mean
get
there
that
ain't
out of
much
the way?
to that.
All right, so it's broken into like what, 4 short stories?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and the last one's really short.
Yeah, right. So, I thought that the first short story with the kids in the school was pretty interesting. I liked how I like how it was laid out. So it's a short film, or it's a film with short stories in it that all revolve around a central idea about these aliens or whatever they are showing up, these doorways showing up.
They're like hard drives because they're archiving.
Yeah, which was fucking creepy.
Mhm.
And like they like talk to certain people and lure them into the doors, and then they got these people called knockers, and they're like, we're gonna go into the doors, and then we got a time limit, and then we're gonna come out of the doors. But
What was it, like 10 minutes?
yeah, well, they said that they had to do a shorter run because the last team that went in, they didn't come back out,
So
so
they
they're
were still
trying to.
figuring it out.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, do 10 minutes this time.
yeah. And I'll be honest, I don't think that any amount of time that you spend in there, you're going to be able to come back from.
Yeah,
mean,
I
unless
wouldn't go in.
unless you walk through
Mm-mm.
the doorway and then turn right around and walk out.
Yeah,
But it might not let you leave. Like, we don't know what the fuck these things are capable
no.
of. Not for real.
All I'm
But
saying is if I'm in class and the teacher answers the phone like that and then leaves, and you remember how you could hear all the phones buzzing,
yeah,
airplanes flying over, dude,
Mhm.
I'm getting my fucking phone back.
yeah, and
I'm
I'm
not gonna
leaving.
wait.
Right.
It was it
Like
was
it ain't Back
creepy.
to the Future, We ain't waiting for prom.
Yeah, it was creepy that one showed up in the school and they had that weird
Yeah, a
encounter in the
standoff, and that it
hallway.
was talking to the girl.
Yeah,
Was trying to get. I think it wanted her to push them in. Well, she did.
yeah. 2 of them got pushed in.
Yeah,
And then, like I said, the second story was about the knockers going into it, and then you kind of see where the door is what playing mind games,
yeah.
based off of each individual person's like past experiences
Memories and
and
shit.
yeah, which was pretty interesting. I thought that it's using that shit against you. And then the third story, the dude in the woods is communicating. He figured out a way to communicate with the door.
Yeah, with an old
Um,
switchboard.
yeah, he had been working on this shit for a minute too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but and then the very last story was the radio or the podcast host that's been kind of narrating, not really narrating, but just been kind of popping in and out between stories, and you see him having an interview with this dude,
I
and
don't know
this
what
dude,
that dude was.
I don't
Did he
know.
come out of the door?
I think he had to have,
He was
right?
creepy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was a very weird
And then
situation.
we see the podcast guy like get on the table and do weird shit. Like it was really weird, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we find out that the aliens or whoever have sent them there to archive humanity, which is like so you're it's an extinction level event that is backing up memories and I guess personalities because when the knockers went in, you had Drake and Josh, there was like 3 of him
Yeah.
and it was 3 different versions of him, but it was all part of his personality
Yeah, he
though.
was like, "It's hot. Why is he wearing long sleeve?" Like, all right, we'll
Yeah.
shoot that one.
Like it cashes in on the whole like these aliens are transdimensional.
Yeah.
Like
Um
which is
I don't
funny. It's like which I've never understood in sci-fi movies where like we have this cutthroat race of aliens that are just like we're just gonna like fuck the solar system, save our day, that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be so thoughtful enough to like archive.
yeah.
It's I don't know. It's just it's like
A
it's
weird
like
story.
when we put too much of like our element into something like because humans are the type of people that be like, yeah, let's go over this like plot of land and kill everybody on it. Then let's erect a memorial that said this used to be their land. Like
Yeah.
what a fucking dick move, you know?
Yeah, right. Um, but I thought that the way they execute it was very interesting, but at the same time, like it could have like they could have explained it a little bit more.
Yeah,
And
script needed a little work,
yeah,
Well, I mean,
just a little bit.
furthermore, these type of films where it's more like anthological instead of like a cut and dry start to finish story. They tend to be kind of like hit and miss,
Yeah,
very hit and miss because you could have a strong opening story and a fantastic ending and that middle one can just be a goddamn slog and you're just like,
yeah.
oh
Why did
man,
I?
how much fucking longer does this shit have, you know?
Yeah. Why did I waste my time with all this? It felt to me like there should have been one more story in there. Maybe like a finale type story where it kind of goes into what happened to humanity.
yeah, dude. The way it ended, man, was just like they were just trying to save money.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? It was
Yeah.
a kind of, that was kind of a
Yeah.
cheap way to. And this was like an hour and a half.
Yeah. They could have
Like,
made it a little bit longer.
yeah. Well, if would you think that maybe with a runtime, do you think that if we had an extra 30 minutes to an hour on standby with it, what do you think should have been used with it? Should it have been another story, or should that 30 minutes have been divvied out for like a greater
What if
context?
you show it from the perspective of like the aliens, the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
that
I
would
didn't
have
like
been
the way it
great.
ended.
Keep it vague as fuck the whole film.
Yeah,
And then when you get to that last one, just go off the rails, and it's like this is from the
yeah,
aliens' perspective, and like every scene is a question answer, like
yeah,
Yeah. Well, they could have got rid of that last short story completely, right?
yes,
And that because that thing that went on for about 10 minutes.
yeah,
So the
of just
movie,
dude fucking orgasming in front of his computer while the other dude's like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
do
Course through your
it,
veins.
yeah.
yeah,
So
violence and speed.
if you cut that out, you've got like an hour and 10 minutes there. So realistically, they could have used a 30-minute short story for short film format and either showed it from the aliens point of view or showed it from like a greater
Yeah,
military
for the
point of view.
government.
Yes. The
Or if we're wading out in sci-fi territory, it could have just been like the perspective of like a more benevolent, observant species. That's like, why the fuck is this race over in this? Like, why is this
Well,
like species of aliens in this sector? And they start like, I don't know. Maybe that's too much for like the general audience, but like,
well, and that's what the door told the guy that there was gonna be some kind of mass extinction,
yeah.
and it wasn't them that's doing it. It wasn't them, right? He was telling him that
Right.
there was going to be some kind of wipeout, so we're archiving because we know that you're going to be gone soon.
Right.
Well, like yeah, like the Watchers roll up and they're like,
And we haven't had a chance to archive you yet. And we think you're worth backing up.
Yeah. So,
Would have
but I
liked to have had
mean,
more of that with the door that,
yeah,
their side.
I would have enjoyed it more if it would have been uh if it had a finale, like if it was all wrapped up in a nice, neat little bow. And I love stuff that's open ended, that is open for interpretation, but like,
well, sometimes it just falls flat. Well, sometimes it doesn't need to be open ended and vague. Because if you establish so much shit with just by the talking and the few things that you get through this, they kind of already lift the veil early in the movie. Shit's going on.
yeah,
And so you have a situation where it's like, all right, we've kind of revealed the workings of our movie's universe. Let's just not give an answer, and it doesn't work. Like when you keep that air of mystery throughout the whole film, then kind of go off on a, it ain't over type of ending, then I don't know.
yeah. Well, and to me, if you're going to leave something like open ended like that and open to interpretation, then do just a straight feature that's not broken up into different stories. And because you would have got more context, more information. Because I mean, from the kids, you didn't get any
Yeah.
information other than the doors are there.
We didn't get to
So
stay
there's,
with anybody long enough to.
yeah, yeah,
I know that the film doesn't have any relatability to this one because it's just, it's just in genre alone. But I think a movie that was able to reveal a lot but still be like creepy vague was Aniara.
oh yeah, yeah,
Like when we get to the last part of that film where it was like, all right, this happens, that happens, jump a little forward in time, this and that's happened, like jump forward in time. That shit that you saw 5 minutes ago don't even fucking matter anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, it just,
yeah,
and because by doing that and revealing a little subtle shit, you're like, whoa,
yeah,
it gets you creeped out at the thought of what was going on in the gap, you know?
right.
And
And
when you
and you're
have that, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say your brain can fill in those moments because whenever it jumps between, the power going off and everything kind of slummy, and it shows them in the Mima or whatever it was called,
That was
and
it.
their eyes were all fucked up. Like you can
Yeah.
fill those gaps in with your own imagination as to what happened.
Absolutely. And I think that's where suspense, psychological terror, and just flat out horror, that's when movies utilize that kind of device, that's when they're the most impactful. Because
Yeah,
let's face it, we're all nearing middle-aged men. Like there's not going to be a movie that we sit down and watch and we're like, "Oh God, that was terrifying." But the movies that are going to effectively hit the punch are the movies that you're going to fill in those blanks and you're like, oh, what if they did that? Like you creep yourself out through the what if, the
yeah.
analyzing of it.
Well, yeah, because nothing's more terrifying than what you come up in your own head.
Yeah, like you have an open-ended segment in the movie, and you know we could all be in agreement that it's like, man, that was creepy. It's because we all sat down and watched it differently, and what conclusion Adam might have came up with could have been light years from mine, but we're still equally irked by it.
Yeah, yeah. So on the whole, I thought it was decent. I thought, everybody that was in it, the actors and actresses were great. The filmmaking was great. It was just, it left something to be desired.
Yeah.
Well, like a
Um,
been there, done. It was a been there, done that kind of thing.
yeah. So I think that it would have honestly, and I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but I think it would have worked better if it would have been found footage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, or
Yeah.
like you have it through like, and that would be a cool way of doing found footage too, to where you're not have it to where it's not necessarily like, still have your little shaky cam to kind of let the, visually represent that it's found footage, of course, but have it where it's like like imagine a Doom movie where you're not first person perspective, you're not Doom guy, but you're watching the movie and you're seeing the events of the hell shit opening up, and you're learning it through the data logs. Like another good example, like The Martian,
Yeah.
the novel of The Martian. Like you're getting this found footage or found log entry fucking adventure. This dude that went on this crazy fucking, there and back again story, and it's through these logs, and then having just fucking like we were on this ship, this shit was going on, this thing happened, that guy got out, and this fucking evil shit is here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and they could have used that idea of the knockers going through as like, think about this. It's found footage up until the point that you go through the door. And from that point forward, it's no longer found footage. It's shot like a traditional film shot
yeah,
and shows their experiences inside the door. Because if it's found footage, then more than likely you're not going to see everybody's face.
Yeah.
You're not going to know what everybody looks like.
Every shot's not
But
going to be perfect.
yeah,
you're
but
only
if
gonna see the the honed in vision of whoever's the fucking camera user.
yeah. So if they did it, if they would have done it that way, made it a little bit more long form, and kind of focused on like the knockers, the team behind the knockers, like that core group of scientists that are like studying that,
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would have been much more of an interesting film and probably would have got more across from it. Now, I mean, like I understand the artistic, way that they went about it and it being short films and all this, and I can appreciate that. But just from like a pure pleasurable, movie experience standpoint, it missed the mark.
Yeah.
So
Half star.
yeah, I'm giving it a half star as well.
Same.
It wasn't bad. It was just it needed more.
I mean,
And an
it's
hour
a
and
half
20
star movie.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that if your flavor for the night is sci-fi, and you want to watch something that deals with the concept of like just shit opening up around Earth or whatever, just start season 1 of The Expanse.
Yeah.
I know you gentlemen may not have watched any of it yet, but
Heard you
season
talk
one
about it.
deals with a similar scenario where these fucking big ass ring portals to other parts in space have opened up around Earth, and they figure out their little do's and don'ts to the shit. So
Right.
Well, I mean, the trailer catfished us, dude.
Yeah.
'Cause
It
we saw
did.
that trailer, it was like, what that smell like?
Yeah.
Then we watched it. It was like, oh, okay.
well, I mean, we can still give kudos to the trailer because it did what the trailer's supposed to do: make it seem interesting and make you want to watch it.
Yeah. And that middle story was incredible. And like the cinematography on that,
The
like when it shows
knockers.
them, yeah, the
Yeah, when they
knockers.
went in, yeah, that was good. That was cool the way it looked. And
Yeah. Well, even them walking up to the house where the door was, and it's like it looks like they're walking on an ocean, but it's
yeah,
not. Like just little subtle things like that made it look fucking incredible. But like,
when he looked down at that girl's face, and it was that
the
weird,
door.
yeah, that weird shit coming off of it. That's like, it almost looks like a magnet that's been ground up, and there's a
Yeah,
piece of
yeah,
metal in front of it, and it's trying to reach it.
yeah.
That's what reminded me of, like,
But yeah, half star all
half
the
star,
way on that.
especially coming off of that and watching the next
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Godzilla versus Kong. Let's get into this for a couple of minutes here. Um, I mean, look, guys. After they did King of the Monsters, how could they top the MonsterVerse? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
had the
because
similar I had similar thoughts going in.
Because I mean, you see Godzilla fight all these titans
yeah.
that we all know, and like your casual moviegoer is probably not going to know who Rodan and fucking Mothra and all these other people are, but like, growing up on that shit, I was super excited, and then it's like they're building up to Godzilla versus Kong. They're really going to have to bring the thunder when
Well,
they
and
do this,
now we know where Kong's been all this time. The
dude.
reason he wasn't in that movie is because they had him put up because they were worried that Godzilla would come after him.
Yeah.
There can
Which
only
is
be one.
it's a crazy idea, right?
Yeah.
Like he picks that tree up and pulls all them limbs off of it, and I'm like, is he fixing to go hunting?
I thought he was
Like,
going
is
to
he
use it
gonna?
as like a walking stick.
I thought he was
I thought
I
gonna
he was
thought
gonna
spear
that thing
hide,
too,
somebody.
Adam. I
you
thought the
know?
same thing, man.
You shall
I
not
like
pass.
well, the way the movie was starting, I was like, all right, we're gonna get Kong fucking roaming the land for a minute, fucking being like all is right with the world, you know?
Yeah.
And
No, he
Annie
And
chucks that
knew
motherfucker. He chucks that motherfucker straight Truman Show style with the fucking
it was
sun,
the
you
Truman
know?
Show.
so he's been inside this thing for God knows how long. Did
I
they
would
ever?
say since the beginning of the other movies, right? Because like that other movie took place when the Kong Skull Island.
In the 70s.
Well, it would have to be since then, right? Or at
I would.
least sometime since then. Whenever Godzilla came in,
Yeah.
they had to put Kong somewhere because it's like if we don't,
Well,
that's and the
maybe.
girls said it. There's like if if he gets out, Godzilla will come after him, and we already know he's a badass.
Yeah.
Well, what it kind of made me when I was watching the movie, right? At least watching at the beginning, whenever they get him and stuff, and they have him on the fucking boat and whatnot. It hard for some reason watching that, and with their use of you know how they use those classic songs while they're transporting Kongs
Yeah,
and
well, they
stuff,
had an
which I thought
Elvis
was
one.
when
Yeah.
they were
I really like that.
like when I did that, I perked up, and it's funny you said that because I was like, this some Adam shit right here,
It was Elvis, dude.
like this
It was a
some
good
Adam
song
putting some
choice.
old ass fucking music over
It
something
worked.
crazy, you know? It did.
How good did it look?
But what it
Oh
made
yeah.
me think though, it made me harken back to the end of Skull Island when John C. Riley's character's leaving and he's singing "We'll Meet Again" by fucking Johnny Cash,
Yeah.
and it's like it gives more context to that because it's not necessarily that homeboy's leaving the island and he's getting back home and he's good, but in a sense of like, I'm coming back and we're getting your ass,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, but you know.
So there.
Because and I say that to like answer what we were the topic at hand. We were like, you know, we've had him this for God knows how long in this facility, this containment room, and it's like, well, when they left, when Monarch left that island, when they left Skull Island the first time, they were like, well, we're gonna come back. So I assume they fucking got his ass. Like he's got to have been in there for a long fucking time.
Yeah. Well, like, like? I'm guessing that that Godzilla not only showing up and the Titans getting kind of stir crazy and start coming out of the woodwork and all this kind of crazy shit. Um, but it looked like that hurricane that surrounded Skull Island was on top of the island
Yeah.
because when they got ready to go and anytime anybody
Anytime
was
they left that thing, I was gonna bring that up. Anytime they went outside, it
yeah,
was raining like a motherfucker, dude.
yeah,
Always
right,
Yeah.
dark.
It wouldn't be a CGI monster movie without that constant night rain sequence.
Whenever they
yeah,
go in, whenever they bring the man in black with them,
yeah,
and they're wearing the damn tarp, they got the rain
the
jackets. They
frog
walk
dog,
in, and it's like, oh, nice day.
yeah.
The ceiling's full of these holes. Where he's been punching holes in the damn thing.
He's trying to get out, dude.
Yeah, he told the little girl he won't go home.
Well, he
Yeah,
figured it out. He was like, "This is bullshit. This ain't my fucking home because I can feel the fucking energy of my home calling to me."
yeah.
Like,
Him munching on that fish on that boat.
which one
Oh my
one
god.
thing that I really liked was that, every now and then we would like something would go down. I don't know if y'all noticed this. Like every now and then some shit would go down, and like for about a minute and a half, everybody's spitting just jargon. Like no, like we're not explaining any of this shit. We're just like, oh man, it's gonna reverse the fucking polarity. And it's gonna like the magnets are gonna flip. Like, and I love that they fucking did that. Like fuck, 15 minutes of
Yeah,
fucking
we're just
logic
going with it.
explaining. Like fuck you, dude. You're watching you're watching a monster movie.
Yeah,
And I love that they didn't try to sit and pack a fucking hours worth of exposition dialogue in the movie.
yeah.
Like they didn't have a love story going on with the bullshit.
No, dude, it was nonstop.
Yeah,
Like,
like it did not let up, and I think that, and this is what I've done with this kaiju verse, monster verse, whatever the fuck people are calling it. I've made a point to go in with no expectations with these movies,
Yeah.
and I have been like mine have been exceeded every fucking time.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Like we're what 4 movies deep now,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'd say successful franchise.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
And it's nice having a blockbuster like this. It's really refreshing watching it and knowing that it's not based on something like it's based on characters, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like
It's its own story.
what they've done in this American iteration of Godzilla. They finally did it right. They made a Western version of Godzilla
Without doing a rinse and repeat.
without they kept some of the check marks in place.
Fan
Look,
service.
he's got to be this walking mountain of a fucking lizard.
Yeah.
They made him have fucking powers. Which, going to my previous comment that I was stating earlier, though, with him not explaining everything, I love the fact that like when we get Kong into the Hollow Earth and he gets his axe, which is like a
badass.
fin of a fucking Godzilla creature or a Ghidorah
Yeah.
or God knows what. We don't know and they don't tell us, and that's fucking awesome.
That's what it looked like.
I can't like I know it sounds weird to be happy that they didn't explain shit to, because I'm tired of movies doing that.
Yeah.
I like being able to sit there and watch that, and we can kind of interpret and
Like,
it's
yeah.
kind of self-explanatory. Godzilla's the fucking king, man, because whenever the power up was going on, and Godzilla puts the APB out for fucking Kong, and Kong gets the goddamn signal, and it hits the fucking area. His shit glows, and then that fucking ring around his throne starts to glow up.
It was
That's
a
fucking.
Godzilla.
Yeah, I noticed the head because I was
Yep.
trying to see like what the symbol.
It
Because
was
at
like
first
curled
it kind of.
around it.
I was like, these motherfuckers take the Elven from the Elvish from the ring and fucking from Lord of the Rings and just put it around this dude's throne because fucking movie.
But that was the source power.
But
Yeah.
I think what it is, and they don't ever go into that, but they do it through the fucking digital facting that they make these creatures do, and it's basically like Godzilla. Godzilla is king of the goddamn monsters.
Yeah.
You're gonna bow to him, and he's gonna be the only motherfucker Kong would ever bow to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to. Remember when the little girl was like, Godzilla's not the enemy? And he looked over at Godzilla and he was like, motherfucker. He was still pissed about that shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Kong is so goddamn badass. Godzilla was like, "You're going to the fucking Hollow Earth, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta fuck off to the whole other like side of the coin, dude. Like,
Yeah. To almost another dimension.
But we talked about it before. It was like the damn Mecha Godzilla's gonna show up. They're gonna fight each other. We're gonna get that. And then they're gonna have to be friends. And that was only the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
The rest of the time they're just beating the shit out of each other. Like they fucked Hong Kong up, dude.
Like this director knew what this movie needed to be, and he delivered.
It was so awesome, that fight scene.
We got 3 fucking fight scenes. We got the fight at sea.
That's so cool too.
The fucking the round 2, and then we got the fucking triple threat match.
When I saw those helicopters taking his ass to Antarctica, I was like, that ain't happening. You know what I mean?
I know, right?
That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So their logic here was fucking incredible, where it's like, we've got to get to the I've been studying the Hollow Earth for like years. My brother went to the Hollow Earth and died.
Yeah, he died trying to get into it.
Yeah.
Gravity crushed him.
Yeah. So we're going to take Kong and drop him into the Hollow Earth, and we're going to follow his ass down there. We're going to let him be that stone that breaks
to the
water.
power.
Yeah. Yeah.
With ships that we have no knowledge if they're gonna fucking work, because we've
for
never
real.
got. Because like that was one part that I was kind of like, man, they're a little fucking confident here.
Yeah.
Like, don't they know about the Titanic?
And my
'Cause that-
question is,
Because that bitch was a bit of a smartass. She was like, "Oh, they'll fucking work."
Yeah. They were
Like-
doing some dirty shit though at their
Like
factory.
she got like she ordered medium rare and got a well done, dude. She was like, "This ain't."
my thing too is like, if they don't know it, I mean, she's confident, yes, that it's going to work, but everybody else is like, this may or may not work, but we're bringing the girl, and it's like, what? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
the
Like,
little
Talk
girl.
about unaccompanied minor, the movie, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
for real, right?
That little shit kept wriggling out of fucking,
They needed her, man, to get him in line. Like,
Which, I mean, it's a nod to the OG
Yeah.
fucking Toho movies, man. There's always someone with some sort of like mental
instead of
link
it being
to
like a
the
woman he wants to
creature,
like
you know?
be with, it's just this little girl that he's like,
And
She made
Stranger
me a little
Things girl
doll.
didn't do shit this fucking movie. Can we just point out that she was merely there to promote Stranger Things?
I
did you
know,
notice
right?
how she put her hair back in the ponytail and it made her look like 11?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
she looked bald, kind of like it was short.
Like I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here really trying to recall because I mean I just
Well, I mean,
watched
they
the movie
did
like
do
not even an hour
something.
ago.
You know,
Well, I
they,
mean,
her and the black
majority of the
guy and
film
that
was
other
her
kid
like it was
listening
her
to
being like,
podcasts.
well, it was it was her listening to podcasts
I thought
and
it
being
was
like
cool how they worked on podcasts. Like,
and screaming that Godzilla's not the enemy. And when those motherfuckers were done, she'd go
Yeah.
to this other group and be like, Godzilla's not the enemy.
well, here's the thing: what she didn't know was we got a new little girl. You know,
Yeah.
and she can talk
She
to
got
one of them. So
yeah, she got recast, you know. Um, it was the fights were fucking great.
epic.
Yes. Which is all that I wanted out of it was just some badass Godzilla Kong fights, you know. And then the Hollow Earth thing was so ridiculous.
That
And
was
it's like, okay,
yeah,
first of all, like
But
how
this is the perfect movie to use that as
Yeah.
a plot device.
What was so
exactly.
cool,
Yeah.
man, was there was the, like when you look up, there was a whole nother, like, and he went to that one spot where you could jump up to it. And then when
Like
you jump, you switch
that's a
across, and the
fucking
gravity switches.
Yeah.
that was a badass shot when he's fucking when Kong's doing the when he's doing the chest beating, and it's the wide shot where you see the stones that are trapped that are deadlocked, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you see that wide shot of top and bottom. Man, that was cool.
Though like Chris Nolan ain't got shit on Hollow Earth.
Well,
you
and
know?
then
Well, I
right
mean, this-
there
this-
in that spot, there was the Kong hand, whatever his race would be called, his species, like the hand that was pointing right there, and he was like, "Okay, I can jump across here."
Yeah.
Well, like
Yeah.
in just imagery alone, they relayed to the audience that the Kong species and like pretty much all of these titans, they were on some level of intelligence.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and I thought that was badass that they went there with lore stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And speaking of Nolan, man, let's talk about this warp scene to the fucking Hollow Earth.
Yeah, that was
How
cool.
Yeah.
badass that shit was.
I like the way it would.
It went straight 2001.
You know how when they would come out, how it would stretch out like a string,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
just popped out of it.
Like I was waiting for the Doctor Who theme to kick in. Like
I was waiting. That dude was screaming. Ah!
that whole lead up to and execution of that scene was cool.
Yeah.
Like even though humans were just the fodder for this battle that went on throughout the movie, it was interesting how the stuff the director had him do and to make the human perspective relevant
Yeah.
was cool.
Whenever dude hopped, remember when the ship was going under, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Speaking of Titanic,
Yeah.
dude
Right.
hopped in there and he was swimming up, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna free him. He's gonna free him." And when he hit that thing and those chains came off, I went, "Yes, bitch!"
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, "Ooh, I was pumped." There
I
were
felt
several
myself-
times where I got loud.
Like I felt myself rooting for Kong at moments because
Yeah.
I was Godzilla all the way out. Because part of me was like, dude, like he ain't fucking going evil. Like it's gonna be some bullshit and the whole thing, and like the way they implemented Mecha Godzilla was cool. But
Yeah.
I thought it was funny how we had Mecha Godzilla, and then we had empty black room with skull connected by wires that go to nowhere, and that's all we get of like that's how it works.
I
Yeah.
like how instead of
That was funny, dude. It was like it's wired in. Like there was no thing where, you know, like pouring alcohol saved the day.
yeah,
Let's point that out
to the
too.
computer.
When in doubt, drink it out. Like,
Yeah. Code red. Spill. We got a spill. But
oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
when they were like what was the company called?
Apex.
Apex. So I like how instead of like Apex being the bad guy, whenever this thing got the new element was supercharged, like it was like it knew what it was on its own. It was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm in charge now. I kind of like how
Yeah.
they did that.
Well, it was like it. I mean,
That power was just too strong.
We can say that like the final fight was straight up Batman v Superman again.
Yeah.
I love it's the same flavor, same things, and I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But like like you're saying, Adam, Lex thought making Doomsday he'd control it.
Yeah.
He lost control of that shit quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when that thing turned and looked at him, I was like, that other guy's not driving that anymore. He's having a seizure.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
happening?
dude, it shows fucking going Green Mile and that shit, like,
Yeah.
And no, but yeah, when he went rogue, I love that they were generous with the fucking laser breath, because like Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla were fucking wrecking shit this whole
Yeah.
goddamn movie.
Yeah, well, remember when in that fight where they were in Hong Kong, and every time Godzilla would try to open his mouth, Kong was like, he would just grab it,
Oh,
hold
yeah,
it,
dude.
punch
Oh,
him in the
yeah, that
face,
shit
and he
was
was doing
cool.
those fucking haymakers, dude.
Yeah.
When he would take his arm back and swing it, how long it took, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they beat the shit out of each other, dude.
Well, he just had to let him know. He's like, I get it. You're friendly. People like you. Obviously, the humans like you because they brought you here.
Yeah.
And he's like, I kind of fuck with them sometimes. Depends on what's going on.
I
But
like to tear their skyscrapers down occasionally.
yeah, I mean, the city gets in the way.
Just yeah. The city's in the way of my love for humanity.
I did think it was kind of cool, like, the post credit scene or whatever you want to call it was for King of the Monsters was um fucking Lannister.
Yeah,
Well,
getting the Ghidorah head.
yeah. And so they get the Ghidorah head and they're using the Ghidorah head to power or somewhat control the Mechagodzilla, right?
It reminded me
Well,
of
we
what you call
gotta.
it, Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
When that
Well,
guy was in, he had to pair with it.
Yeah, you're right. They had to have a drift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like it ended up being like Ghidorah around 2.
Yeah.
What if
And
it was really like, what if it had nothing to do with it? They just wanted to use that as a cockpit because it looked cool.
I mean, that was
I'm
just a
just
bonus.
kidding, but
Yeah.
I mean, the way they did Mechagodzilla, man, dude,
he was badass.
man. Somebody let Spielberg or let someone get funded by Spielberg and let his CGI team do it. Can we get like I love Pacific Rim. Like the first one was great. But
Well, like they said, it was eventually going to tie
I
into
want my
this.
goddamn Gundam movie already.
Yeah.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
He was badass though. Like it took both of them to take him down.
Because he had some like crazy
Laser
power
cutter.
thing. Yeah, like
Motherfucker.
his shit wasn't no joke.
Nah, dude.
I mean,
And
this movie is the product of what happens when the only people who can work on your film is your CGI team. Because those fight scenes were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it looked that shit looked like it took a lot of man hours to
It
put
looked
together.
real.
Like all the subtle movements of Mechagodzilla. Whenever he was gonna do like a heavy move or
When he would
something,
do that thing with his
you'd see all them.
spine,
You'd
his
see all
back,
them. You'd see
yeah,
all them fucking engines fire up. And he
charging.
fucking just dude. Like
I
all
thought that
that
was
little
cool.
shit.
It was a
Like
nice little
there's a
touch.
dude that sat there and fucking fucked
He's
with
like,
that
what
for
if it did
hours and
this right
days.
before he did his, like you could see it charge up his tail, like come up his back to his head.
Like when it's like they're like, dude, it's Mechagodzilla. Everything is a fucking machine on him.
That one
Like,
guy looked up and he went, "It's Godzilla," and he went, "No, it's Mechagodzilla." And I thought that was funny because you always got to have that guy that's like, "It's Godzilla." He was like, "No, it's
no movie. I mean,
Mechagodzilla."
I mean, dude, like I said, I feel like the people knew what kind of movie this needed to be,
Oh yeah,
and it shows in the writing. Like it knows what kind of movie it is,
yeah,
and it's it's one of the best of the out of the three. And dude, King of the Monsters, I don't know how that was going to be topped, but they managed to do it. The story for this to me was more engaging because
Well,
because in King of the Monsters, man, it's just that classic, like, everyone's going to fight and the last man
yeah.
standing,
Well, here was the difference. They brought Kong in,
yeah,
and that Skull Island movie was just so good too. Like, you like the Kong character.
yeah,
You kind of care about him. Like,
yeah.
so they
And
brought
dude,
him in, and it's like, oh shit, you
they
did
even
top it.
they even gave him like his own like nod to his iconography too, like the sequence when I think it's during the Mecha Godzilla fight, when one of the skyscrapers Kong is trying to climb. It
Yeah,
looks like an Empire State Building. He's
yeah.
running up it while it's fucking
He
toppling
was up
over
there
and
hanging
shit.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
was
that was
like, that's
cool.
fucking cool, dude. It's cool that like you could see all the little tributes to the stuff while still being its own thing.
Did you notice that one spot where Godzilla fucked Kong up like bad, and it it does a close up on Godzilla, and he like smiles.
Yeah.
I was like, that motherfucker's smiling, dude. He
He's
loves it.
cheap. Yeah.
He just had to let him know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm the baddest.
I read a pretty interesting article earlier that was saying that one of the things that they that when they got the license to Godzilla, they were not they couldn't make um facial expressions with Godzilla,
Is
right?
that the rule?
Yeah, that was one of the rules that Toho put in place for them to use Godzilla,
Okay.
and he couldn't give like frank facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that they found ways around that by having him react in specific kind of ways and things like that. But they could do whatever they wanted to with Kong.
Oh,
And
and
they
they
said,
did.
yeah, and they used that to their advantage. So, like in King of the Monsters, how they would cut back and forth between the monsters fighting and then the people
Yeah.
explaining the emotion
Yeah.
behind whatever, they could just cut to Kong and you could read everything on his
Yeah.
face. And they were so happy that they were able to do that with Kong, since they weren't allowed to do that with Godzilla and some of the other Toho characters. That really streamlined all of the big fight sequences,
Yeah.
and it did. I mean,
You
it
could see the
streamlined
fear
it.
in his eyes, or the anger, or
Yeah,
I like those scenes too, man. They did it at least twice, if not three times, where something was flying by his head, like one of those ships was flying past his head, and his mouth was open with his teeth, and he was like,
yeah,
I was like, that's badass, dude.
right.
Oh, it looks so good. Or when he would like get real close and look in, how real did his fucking eyes look?
I know, right?
We're finally there, man, where it doesn't look dead.
Yeah,
The CGI, and the way that they were moving around, like someone had to wear a damn suit, and they had to
yeah,
track those movements or something because it just looked real. Especially Kong, man. When they were
yeah.
fighting in the damn city, that they fucked Hong Kong up. Now let me ask you: is that hole just always gonna be there?
I
I mean,
It goes all the way to the center of the earth.
yeah,
So I
it'd be an
mean,
issue.
They're gonna
Now,
have to fill it in with dirt.
whenever they came out of it at the end, when he crawled back out, some stiff stuff did fall on it.
Yeah,
And then, at the end, you see him and he's back there,
yeah.
because that's home.
I think he just
Well,
dropped through.
I
well,
like
what's
that
crazy
story,
is
though,
now
that's where
we
they all
have
came from.
well now we have this we have a comparison thing now of knowing just how strong Godzilla's blast is. Like it can blow a fucking hole through the earth.
Well, he was doing it, but the other one was doing it too. It was coming from both sides.
Yeah, yeah.
The one was shooting up from where Kong was at, and Godzilla was like, beacon, and he met it in the middle. And he
found
looked
the
down
end
there, and he was
found
like,
the
come on,
end portal
bitch.
quick.
Dude, when he looked down that hole, and you could see King Kong down there, and he was like, and just went up after him.
Yeah.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
he was
oh,
like, "Get your
shit.
bitch ass up here."
He's like, I got a
motherfucker."
weapon
Like,
now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Let's fuck
Yeah.
this city up. I'm gonna pick a building up and hit you with it.
Yeah. I loved it, man. I thought it was fantastic.
Full star.
It was, oh dude, it was a fucking, to quote Adam, it was a silly goose time, dude. Like,
Yeah.
And then again, fuck the city, save the day.
Yeah, for real. Because, dude, Mechagodzilla would have fucked everything.
He was, man.
Yeah.
Like what they did was already bad enough.
Yeah.
And then when he showed up, he would do that beam, dude, and just cut 18 buildings down. Just
Yeah. No fucks given.
what's gonna be incredible is if he's able to do one more fucking movie.
I think there'll be another one. Right?
I mean, they could straight up tell this fucking story of Godzilla, man, and the way they're going, they could do it and have like 2 or 3 more films.
And now he's got backup.
Because
Yeah.
we've got Mecha Godzilla. Now all we got to do is deal with Space Godzilla, Mecha Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
Like,
are
shit
not gonna
gets off
stop.
the rails, man.
There's always gonna be a bad guy out there. Hello?
I'm
Oh,
if they do decide to do more, if they, go from this, because they don't know how long they're gonna have the license to use Godzilla and those characters, right?
yeah.
So we've got Kong, that we could continue on with. And God knows what's in the Hollow Earth that's going to try to fuck on him, since there's been a absence of that species for so long. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
But what I would like to see them do is just take Godzilla and go with it, take Kong and go with it, and then only have them like meet back up or pair back up when shit is
Yeah.
beyond fuck. You know?
It's when you really need him.
Yes,
The
yeah.
humans are like, we got to get Kong up here.
Yeah, open that
We gotta
fucking
tell him.
portal. Yeah.
Godzilla needs help.
Yeah. So I'm whatever they decide to do is fine. And if they decide to leave it here and this be the end of it, I'm fine with that.
That's fine, dude.
Yeah. I would like more Godzilla. I would like
Yeah.
more King Kong.
Well, they finally
But,
figured it out.
Yeah.
So you
and
hate to see
I
it,
don't-
go away.
Well, the
like,
whole thing. Well, what's awesome is that, like you're saying, they still have Kong, and Kong has proven to be a hit
yeah,
when
Yeah.
used in this kind of context. And so they could continue, like, say the next film, they're like, hey, this is the last movie that Godzilla can show up in. They could still reference him. They could still, he's established in the lore, but they can, in theory, kill off
was about to
Godzilla
say.
now in the story,
yeah.
and Kong can step up to the plate and be the American MonsterVerse,
Yeah.
king of the monsters,
And I'm cool with it, man.
and have it to where it's
Like
like,
something
okay,
kills
like
him.
Kong became the successor to
And
Godzilla.
Kong takes it personal.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm happy with what they've been able to do with the MonsterVerse. I'm glad that they got people in there, kind of like Marvel, that cared about the character, cared about telling the story, and executed it perfectly, in my opinion.
We finally got a great set of movies.
Yeah, I mean,
And nobody's
I'm-
ever been able to do King Kong right.
No, not like that.
Not in America.
No.
Not from the classic weird romance story that
Yeah.
it was, originally, like
Yeah.
making Kong now an action adventure fantasy
A
character,
badass.
which is probably what people like. I mean, I know that that's what they wanted to depict him as from the get go, I guess, but they really revved up a lot of those characteristics a little more in this go, and I think it was very successful.
Well, like
Yeah.
in some of the older stuff, when I'm talking the really old King Kong, it's just kind of a dumb monkey. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's just fucking shit up, beating his chest. Like, this one, like, they show how smart he is. Like, it's different.
Yeah.
He could communicate.
Yeah.
Which was a great way of establishing communication
Yeah.
and making Kong have it to where people can understand what the fuck's going on in the movie in
Yeah.
some shape or form. But, still base it on, the concept that like how we train gorillas
It's
to
proven,
use
yeah,
sign.
that they can communicate with sign language. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to skip over the fact that he used one of those ships as a defib?
Oh my God.
He
Dude,
straight
we
So
almost
defibbed
did,
him.
but that was crazy.
It was.
Randall Flagg was like, I got an idea.
Yeah. He
like-
was like, you, don't worry. He was like, you are, coward. And she looked at
Yeah.
her mom and it was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a callback. But no, man, it's great. And them using the ship as the defib, I was just like, I mean,
Whatever.
it supercharged his ass by
Yeah.
far. You know what
When
I
he
mean?
opened his eyes, he went, ooh.
I
You know?
mean,
Yeah.
I think it gets the real estate coveted golden Kong axe.
Yes,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. I think we gave Godzilla or King of the Monsters the coveted Godzilla roar,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
golden Godzilla. I think we did that. But
And
yeah,
it got a tail swoop.
yeah, for sure. That fight
Um,
on those ships was fucking
It was
ridiculous.
badass, dude.
And
I mean,
Khan
dude.
running across, like jumping
Yeah.
between. Yeah,
I mean, considering most blockbusters these days and most popcorn films these days are accompanied by the Marvel title card, which no beef on that, but it is what it is. It's badass that a popcorn movie can still,
Yeah.
like there's still hope for it
yeah,
and it not be tied to superhero stuff, which I mean, we have it hard print, like clear audio that we all love that shit, but you know, the genre and the whole concept of the movie experience, with big set pieces, explosion, the whole blockbuster, you know, the whole kit and caboodle for that shit. And it's just nice that it can still happen and it not, there's still it can still be done
Yeah.
and still be like impressive. It's not a man, we've already seen this, or it's not some disaster movie or a meteor is going to strike the earth, so let's make sure these people live out their lives for 90 minutes.
Yeah. There's still hope.
yeah. Well, do y'all want to hit a quick little segment of movie news before we leave
Yeah.
that topic? So, Godzilla versus Kong out earns Wonder Woman 1984 at the box office in just 5 days.
Damn.
So, it's safe to say Godzilla versus Kong is a big hit, especially by pandemic standards. Warner Bros., who co-financed the movie with Legendary, is undoubtedly happy with the results. To illustrate just how well the movie has done so far, the latest entry in the MonsterVerse has already surpassed Wonder Woman 1984, both in the U.S. and internationally at the box office. This, among other things, illustrates just how vastly improved the situation with theaters is now compared to December. Godzilla vs. Kong, as of this writing, has earned just shy of 300 million worldwide. It will likely surpass that milestone by tomorrow if it hasn't already. That includes a whopping 32.2 million opening weekend in the US with a 5-day opening total of 48.5 million. That was by a mile the best debut since theaters closed throughout much of the world last March as health and safety concerns became prevalent. Wonder Woman 1984, meanwhile, topped out at 46.1 million domestically after making its debut in December. The DC Comics adaptation did not do particularly well overseas, taking in just 120 million for a global total of 166.1 million. This is in some ways apples to oranges. Wonder Woman 1984 was contending with fewer theaters being open for one. They are all they're also radically different movies. One a superhero sequel, blah blah blah. It says they were both released in theaters and on HBO Max in the US on the same day, so viewers had the option to watch them both at home. Critical reception is also worth looking at. Godzilla vs. Kong, directed by Adam Wingard, currently holds a 75% critical approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It is accompanied by a stellar 93% audience score. Director Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 1984, on the other hand, didn't fare as well. Gal Gadot's solo DC sequel holds a 59% critic rating to go with a 74% audience score. That, coupled with more movie theaters being open and conditions improving, helped push the follow up to 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters to a monstrous box office debut.
I agree
Good.
with that.
I'm glad that it did better than
Yeah,
that fucking terrible Wonder
of course
Woman
it
movie,
did.
dude.
I
That
bet you it outstreamed it too.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. But yeah, I just whenever you were hitting on that stuff, Trav, I wanted to just go ahead and throw that in there because hey man, I mean, it's it's kind of like it's always been kind of jokey, right? Just the same way that superhero movies has always been kind of jokey to a certain
Yeah.
extent. But whenever the filmmakers and the actors and actresses and the writers involved with it take it seriously,
Yeah,
then the audience has no choice but to take it seriously. And whether the story makes 100% teetotal sense from a scientific standpoint, all the way down to like common knowledge, or if it's just this fantastical story about a giant monkey and a giant
yeah,
lizard fighting each other,
that's it.
it doesn't fucking matter, you know? So it's like it came out on top. You had people put in place that gave a shit about the movie, that had a story that they wanted to tell that was interesting enough to get made. And look what happened.
The
Movies
guy
that
was
I will
able,
watch over again.
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, the entire franchise so far is worth watching. The solo Godzilla and solo Kong
Yeah,
movies are worth their worth their weight as individual films.
Yeah.
But the past two kaiju movies that have come out have been the movies that
epic.
a lot of fans have been wanting for a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we
So,
always got the standalone like Kong movie or Godzilla movie. You just never got them all meeting together and fighting the big bad and the heavy. Like
yeah.
finally got
The
that.
I will say this, the MonsterVerse has saved the disaster film genre.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's low key what these movies are. They're disaster films, but with just a little more going on in the ridiculous department.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not just an earthquake in the rock.
Yeah.
Not every movie's got to be directed by Roland Emmerich,
Yeah.
where the world gets destroyed.
Or fucking
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Yeah. You know.
I knew.
So but yeah, I give it a full star,
Full
man. I
star.
really enjoyed it. And whatever they decide to do, I'm fine with. Like I said, it would be nice to have more films. It would be nice for them to expand on the MonsterVerse and all that good stuff. But if they don't or they can't, and I don't see why they couldn't making that kind of money.
Yeah,
Um,
they'll work
but if
something out.
yeah, but you know what would be interesting, in my opinion, if they could do it, if HBO Max would allow them and give them the budget to do it, is give us Monarch, right, and give us a 8 episode series
Ooh,
where they're researching this new
tech.
Titan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
this new creature
yeah,
that has been laying dormant for so long, and like just go deep and as crazy with it as you want to, whether it's in the hollow earth or if it's on regular ass earth or whatever, and just go as deep and as crazy with it as you want to, and then build off of that to make your hour and a half to 2 hour long film. because you could cover a lot of stuff in 8 hours
Yeah.
on a television show.
Well, if you wanted, like, well, if they could go the route of bringing in like extraterrestrial shit
I was
now,
gonna say maybe not even on Earth. What
yeah,
if they found something on the moon, or
yeah,
and they're like, it's gonna wake
well,
up.
well, they can go into the idea that there was some shit that struck the Earth, and that's what created these monsters, the Titans, kaiju's, whatever term suits your
The reason they
vernacular.
survived is because they were in the Hollow Earth
yeah.
when the rest of the, like dinosaurs and shit were wiped out.
Yeah. But have it to where Monarch is discovering stuff where, shit's landed on the Earth and it's kind of helped kind of make what's been going on. And then have another, our next big movie where it starts with like a time gap and like, why do we have mech suits? Well, there's a show.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that if they tied that in, if there was a way for Del Toro to become back back associated with the Pacific Rim stuff,
Mm,
and tie that into it as well, because we've already got the precursor to what Pacific Rim is
yeah.
in Godzilla versus Kong with the Ghidorah skull. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with them trying to build
Yeah.
Mecha Godzilla, that's the stepping stone to get to the Jaegers. So
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
what Mechagodzilla was.
Yeah,
Pretty much
it
a
was a
Jaeger.
Jaeger. Yeah, that was just modeled after our King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
So
Oh, shit, man. This is just a stupid epiphany, but so we have the Hollow Earth established, right?
mhm.
And there's this weird dimensional, like you can't just keep digging to get to it. Like you eventually hit this part where shit gets weird. Well, what if that implodes and that's how we get the realm that the kaiju are coming out of in the future with the Jaegers and everything?
Yeah. Well, remember, like in Pacific Rim, there was like a doorway to these aliens that were sending shit through, right?
Yeah, I mean, it might, now granted, it might cause some retconning that, will be in order, but they could totally link the franchise together, man. Or they
Yeah,
could have it to where
It was
the
supposed to be. They were supposed to
just
work it into it at some point.
and it would, and realistically, it wouldn't be hard to do something like that, because think about it. The Hollow Earth exists now. The Hollow Earth did not exist whenever they were doing what you call it, Pacific Rim. But who's to say that like something doesn't happen, because like King Ghidorah was from space, right? He was like
Mm.
an alien that showed up on Earth. Okay, so who's to say that they didn't look at what is on the Hollow Earth? And if you take what's on the Hollow Earth, even just the little flying like um centipede looking things that we saw, if you take that and you splice it with alien DNA
Yeah.
and make it much bigger, then what do you have? So who's to say that Kong and everybody else didn't get ran out of the Hollow Earth? And like, yes, it's a dimensional link between two different realities or two different planets, but they use the Hollow Earth as basically a factory to make
Yeah.
these.
or dude, they could even since the whole since general audiences are well ingrained with the multiverse now from all the different ways they do it in shows like Fringe and all the CW shit and just everything at large, really.
Yeah,
It could be like you find out that by going to the Hollow Earth, you're going to another Earth that exists in the same point in time on a different universe.
yeah.
Like, you're stepping over, but
I mean, they could do a whole lot with that. And I would be okay if they used something that was a little less focused on the kaiju and the monsters, and focused a little bit more on like humanity and humans, and use that as the driving force for what could be the next big thing that happens in the MonsterVerse.
We'll have
And
we'll have a world building movie, like a transitional world build. Like, yeah, these creatures might show up in things, but have it to where it's like, shit starts going wrong, and it's like, why isn't Godzilla responding? And it's just because it's a different type of energy or something,
yeah, he doesn't respond to it because he doesn't sense it or recognize it.
Yeah,
It's
so
not a threat.
Godzilla's dormant. Kong's fucking chilling on his throne. He's not sensing it
Yeah.
either.
I mean, and then that could show like, I mean, in Pacific Rim, the only kaiju's that you had was the bad kaiju's or the evil kaiju's. It's like, okay, so if you tie those two together, then like, what happened to Godzilla? What happened to Kong? They obviously had to die at some point. So, like, as bad as I would hate to see that film, but I also want to see that film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I
Like,
mean, dude, they could even have it to where Kong and Godzilla reside is so far away from where these rifts in the universe are that the signal doesn't reach them
yeah,
because it's not of the same frequency as whatever the fuck is on, like, actually established on Earth.
yeah. They could do so much with the MonsterVerse. And since they've got HBO Max and all this other stuff now, they could really take advantage of that and like run with it. And
Mhm.
and that would be incredible. Like that's what a streaming service is for. It's basically for establishing new IPs and then expanding on existing IPs, right? So just expand on it. Why not? I mean, we had an animated Godzilla series for years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, come on. Full star.
Yeah.
I'm ready to talk about Zemo.
Yeah, that was cool how
Oh, Zemo.
these last two episodes are good, huh?
Yeah, they were really good. They were really so in the not this past episode, but the episode
Last
before.
week's.
We see more of like the group of people, the girl and her little cronies or
Flag
whatever.
Smashers.
Yeah, yeah. We see a little bit more of them kind of moving around and like being pawns and doing
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. But we also find out that like they have a version of the super soldier serum.
Yeah.
And Falcon and Winter Soldier come to the realization that the only person that can help them out in this situation is the main man himself, Mr. Baron Zemo.
Yeah, yeah. That was in the second episode. Well, what was that, the fourth?
We're on episode 3.
3? Okay. So in the second one, they go and fight them, and this is when the new Captain America and his buddies show up, and they're like, they show up on that helicopter, and he's like, "You made a big mistake,"
Yeah.
Well, for the most part, in that second episode, they try to establish that this dude wants to, like, he really wants to try to live up to
He
Steve
does,
Rogers' standards.
But
we
think,
see the crack. We see the crack.
Yeah, at the end of the other one, he's like, "Well, we're just gonna do it anyway," and I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna get in trouble. He's gonna do some bad shit."
I mean, the audience knows that this guy's not gonna stay in this role.
Bucky's like, "I'll take the damn shield myself."
Yeah,
but I think it's interesting that they're making the long walk to that point at least interesting. They're making this dude kind of, they're giving him enough character development that
the new Captain America was it John what?
John Walker.
John Walker, like a real generic name, all American name. Yeah. Played football,
Walker, Texas Ranger.
They said he's real smart. He's not like superhuman strength, but he's pretty strong.
Yeah.
He did it, and he uses guns.
Yeah. Which is a big, to me, it's like,
yeah.
When he pulled that gun out, I'm like, Captain America.
Yeah. I was like,
Unless he's fighting Nazis, he would never pull a gun. You know what I mean?
Unless he's in a war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole scene was cool, though, after the little skirmish they had when they're walking down the road and they pull up and he's like, all right, here's what we know. He's trying to be all like buddy with them, like, all right, let's get down to brass tacks here. And they're like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
We ain't got to help you do shit.
Yeah, gone.
we can do this ourselves. And then third episode, he shows up, gets him out of jail. There's a warrant for your arrest. It's like, what?
Yeah.
He gets
He
him
misses.
out. It's like,
Yeah.
but it was cool. Like, so how
we
many
get the
times in that
we get
episode did y'all think
so
that
we get
Zemo was going bad on him?
Oh, every second.
Yeah, when he picked that
I'm
pistol up,
I'm
I was
waiting
like,
for the
oh
double
man.
cross.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to happen, right?
Yeah. But
Well-
one thing too is we got the revelation that there was another person successfully given the super soldier serum
Yeah.
post Steve Rogers.
Yeah. This black dude from
Oh yeah,
Queen,
when they
no,
go to his house, and he's like, get
Chicago.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like,
And that's
I
what-
didn't. They didn't praise me. They didn't fucking have praise for me.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
And he said that, that whenever he got back, he was basically a lab rat for many years.
Yeah.
And we come to find out that like they took his DNA, and the way that I interpreted it was they took his DNA as opposed to Steve Rogers' DNA and used that DNA to basically decode what the super soldier serum actually
Yeah.
is.
He's patient
That's how-
zero.
Yeah, that's how I took it, because I'm guessing that they either didn't have Steve Rogers' blood or they were unable to, find the traces of the super soldier. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's how I went into it and kind of went under the assumption of that. Which is very interesting because he everybody knows that Captain America and the super soldier serum, it's different for Steve Rogers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because him taking the super soldier serum and him becoming who he became, it had a lot to do with not only his willingness to accept it, but also his personality.
His personality. He was a little shrimp,
Yeah,
nobody.
yeah. And he was the perfect person to receive the super
Perfect.
soldier serum, and his body took to it, and that's why he became who he became. So who's to know how the super soldier serum affected this other guy?
Yeah.
And what, because most people, whenever they had the super soldier serum injected, it either killed them
Yeah.
or they went crazy or they
Well,
had
if you
some kind of
remember-
really adverse side effect to it, right?
Well, if you remember, the whole concept of Captain America is that Steve, everything and it's what Peggy Carter or the Doctor explained. It's either Peggy or the Doctor explains it to him in the first Avenger, where I think it's the Doctor. They're having that drink before the day he goes in and gets the serum. He says everything that makes you, you're just gonna get a lot more of.
Yeah,
That's the whole concept that Cap can do it all day, like he can fight
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
And it even harkens back to pretty much the defining moment of Captain America, and it's the scene in basic training before he gets the serum where he jumps on the fucking grenade.
Yeah.
yeah,
No questions asked, without skipping a beat, he does it. The whole that defines him as a hero throughout the entire MCU storyline, all the way through the Infinity Saga.
That reminds me of when that guy said, he's like, you probably have never jumped on a grenade. He's like, actually, I've jumped on 3. It's this thing I do with my helmet. It's reinforced steel. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like,
So
okay.
the whole thing is that no one is going to replace Captain America. No
Never.
one can,
yeah,
because there's only one Steve Rogers, and they've made that point abundantly clear throughout the entire Marvel universe.
yeah. So
So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets ousted, though.
I like how
Well-
they brought him in, though, because the trailer had none of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
We didn't even know that was a thing until at the end of episode 1. We're like, what? So that was cool. Nice little, surprise.
Yeah,
And that brings Bucky and what's his name? Hawk. What's his name?
Falcon.
Falcon. Yeah.
The only reason
Sam.
I'm so on point with this Captain America shit with the MCU right now is because the last time I watched the Infinity Saga, I did it through there was this website where people were posting. I think I dropped it on the pod one night.
I think we talked
But
about it.
it's different ways to watch the MCU now.
Yeah.
Now that we've got a beginning and an end, pretty much. And I watched it through the perspective of Captain America. That was the last time I watched all the movies. And so yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, because of this and that and blah blah blah. Like it's still fresh, you know.
Yeah. My thing is like the doctor, whenever they approached the doctor that had recreated super soldier serum, he said that he went into the stream, found the super soldier serum, refined it down, figured out how it
Made it
worked,
better.
and then made it better.
Yeah.
So my thing is like the first thing that I immediately thought was, okay, this is going to target a specific genetic mutation that's going to happen to people when they take it.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first assumption because I've seen, and I haven't read any of them, but I've seen a lot of articles online where this last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier had a lot of implications that lean toward the X-Men and the mutants, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my first thought, whenever I was watching it, was like, okay, if he's injecting these people with this stuff, that's mutating them,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, that's what happened to Captain America.
Yes.
His genetics, right?
He's a mutant.
Yes. So
Well,
if this,
I'm sorry.
well, if this targets one specific thing that's lying dormant within your body and making that come alive and giving you some, because we don't know if it, like, okay, the girl has taken the super soldier serum and she's very strong.
Yes.
And then a couple of other people have taken that serum and they're very strong. But what if somebody else takes it and it does something different to their genetic makeup?
Yeah.
Well, hear me out. And this is probably a long shot. But what if that is Ross gets it and we get Red Hulk?
No, I'm fine with that because this is why I don't think Zemo's going to turn bad. So last Tuesday night, we were talking about the Suicide Squad trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Corey said something about, well, what's the Marvel equivalent of the Suicide Squad? And it's called the Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's the name.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you've got Zemo's in the Thunderbolts. Red Hulk has associated with the Thunderbolts. And I said, well, think about it. What if Ross gets, the super soldier serum or something similar to that, and he basically becomes
Well,
Red Hulk?
I
And
could have been bleeding the comics over into the movies or vice versa. But I believe there's a moment between Banner and Ross in one of the later Avenger films where they bring up the idea that Ross had Banner working on a super soldier serum, trying to replicate Captain America's shit. So even Bruce Banner is aware that serum is still trying to be created, and he's actually worked on it.
Yeah. And if they decided, I think that the Thunderbolts would be a fantastic Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
Where they take the idea of like the Suicide Squad, where you have a bunch of villains,
Yeah.
and it would be amazing if they took. All right, you've already got Zemo,
Yep.
which is a great villain that's still alive.
Like him.
You've got Ross, who they can give the serum to or whatever to, and that could cause him to de-age to an extent, and you could recast that character because the guy that played General Ross is very old now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's William Hurt.
Yeah, very old now. So like you could use that as a way to recast him, and he's the one that ties this group of fuck ups with the military. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And have them, do these missions. You could also tie it into where like, several other villains could be a part of this. Like maybe
Isn't there a run where Venom is with them?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah.
That makes sense though, man, because it's like in Suicide Squad, they're like, you want to stay out of jail?
Mm-hmm.
Do these missions.
Well, and Zemo, regardless of how the story goes, he's too good of a character in my opinion for him to, him to just be a throwaway.
He's a good mustache twirling villain. Like he's good at being pesky and constantly just like they think they got him and he fucking gets away, but they still stopped what he was fucking doing.
Yeah. And I love that. I love the guy that plays Zemo.
Yeah.
I've loved him ever since I saw him in Inglorious Bastards.
hmm
He is incredible, and I hope that I love his character. I love the way that he plays that character,
Yeah.
and I love that fucking mask.
Like this damn whisper he does when he
Well,
talks.
Yes.
One thing I
Mask is
like
cool.
about the thing with Zemo and his origin as well, I'm liking how they're really playing into the in-universe events that have happened.
Yes. Yes.
And I think for all the harm that Josh Whedon did to Justice League, what he established in the Avengers continuity that's being elaborated on now by better people,
Yeah.
credit can be thrown to him where credit's due.
Yeah. I agree.
I
Yeah.
think the whole thing with Sokovia is going to play out for the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because that's the perfect way to bring in villains.
Yeah.
Because that was such the Ultron event was such a devastating blow leading up to the blip and everything.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where they're in Latvia, and at first I had to double take because I thought it said Latveria, and I was like, if we're gonna get some echoes of Doctor Doom,
I
I'm
thought
gonna
the same
lose my
thing.
fucking shit,
I
What'd you say
thought
dude.
the
that place
same
was
thing,
called?
dude.
Where'd they go?
Like,
Cyberpunk? That's what it looked like.
they went to
That was Madripoor,
Yeah.
which was a fucking weird fucking
Place?
place. It looked like something out of an anime.
Well, like
dude.
Cyberpunk, dude. That's what it reminded me
Yeah.
of.
That's a precursor to Tokyo, Neo Tokyo from Akira. You know what I'm saying? Like it had that kind of
It
vibe.
was a cool
Yeah.
place, though.
I love the way that it was lit too.
Yeah,
Like
that
everything was
fluorescent
blue. Yeah.
kind of neon thing going on.
Well, what about
Speak-
the moment where the Winter Soldier was
Reverted
having
Fucked
the
everybody up in the bar.
yeah, like
He said, "Stay in character."
there was a
Yeah.
He's like,
moment
"All
where,
right."
where there was a moment though where they made you see where like he kind of needed that.
Yeah.
He liked it,
Yeah, he did. And
and
dude,
they were
like
bad
for
guys.
real.
So
Yeah. I mean, for real though, like that's his thing. You know, like he shows up and shows out when
Yeah.
Winter Soldier shows up. You know what I mean?
hmm
Like yeah, he's the fucking muscle.
Yeah. So I'm super glad that they had that moment there because the first two episodes he's been so reserved and his therapist is like,
yeah,
you know, you got to forgive and forget and all this kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. And like him to just kind of hulk out for a couple of minutes and just beat the dog shit out of some guys. I'm like, good for him, man.
yeah,
It's gonna be crazy if by the end of the story though we're gonna get it to where we find out some way to where Zemo's been trying to reprogram him.
And I could see that happening.
Because
I
one of
could
the first things we see when the Winter Soldier and
He calls
Zemo
the
are face
numbers
to
out.
face, he tries to fucking do the numbers,
yeah.
dude. He
He
just
says
does
that's
it.
not gonna work anymore.
Yeah.
So at the end of that
And I-
episode, we get the chick from Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
I thought
One
that
of
was
the chicks.
cool how he was like, "Wait a minute," and he walked off, and he was like, "I knew you'd be here. I know
Yeah.
you didn't mean me." You know.
Yeah.
So, I remember. I still haven't seen that movie, but I did hear them say, that Zemo like destroyed some of their shit, and
Yeah.
so obviously, when she's like, "You got Zemo,"
Yeah. Well, and
he's gonna have
Winter,
to prove himself.
yeah.
Like helping
Winter,
with this super soldier serum thing, he's got to redeem himself somehow.
yeah. And that to me, that's a perfect lead in to do something like Thunderbolts, where it's like,
Yeah,
look, we broke him out of prison. We had to because we knew that you guys weren't going to
and
be
he
cool with us.
helped, so give him a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
like,
it
I
was
mean,
a good lead in.
sorry.
well, Zemo is one of those. He is a perfect villain type where whether you agree or disagree with him, like most of the time that you agree with his reasoning, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like, if the super soldier serum is running rampant, then wars and
The
annihilations of whole
world's gonna go to
civilizations.
shit.
Yes.
I
So
get where he's
if we
coming from.
Yes. So if we can keep this shit out of the way, out of it, and to an extent that extends to like the Avengers and all these superpowered entities that now reside within the Marvel universe, it's like you don't understand. Like, look at what happened in New York whenever the Avengers show up and then aliens start fucking invading there. Like,
Yeah.
Earth is ready for this now. You've sent a fucking SOS out, and that's why Thanos shows. Like that's
Mhm.
so it's a ripple effect. Where you've got good, you've got greater evil there. That's just and if they can squash the good and the evil and have everybody on the same page, then he wants to go about it in that way. Where like a crazy Scarlet Witch would want to go about it in a way where like, well, let's just make everybody have powers then. He wants to get rid of the powers.
Yeah.
And neither one of them are right, but also neither one of them are wrong.
He kind of reminds you. You remember the people in the X-Men movies that were against people having powers, and
Oh yeah,
that's
the
kind of him,
protesters. Yeah,
And he's
Oh,
just
they're
badass.
starting to they're sowing the seeds for that for sure because
Yeah.
they did it at the finale of WandaVision when, the town was kind of like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing they could do, but they kind of gave her the "you need to fucking leave" look whenever the spell was finally reversed on them.
And
yeah.
they let you know how serious he is. Like the scientists, they're like, "How many of these serums did you get?" He's like, "About 20 of them. Are there any more?" No. Dude's like, "Pow!" right in the head. He's like, "All right, we're done
Yeah.
here." He won't be making any more.
Yeah.
That's why he did it. Can't trust
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, the
And-
level of gunfighting in this
Right?
show has
And blood,
impressed me
dude.
for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
When she stabbed that, she fucked those dudes up, didn't she?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she
when
didn't
that
give a fuck.
when chick was on shipment.
Yeah, shipment. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Fucked them up.
But
Stabbed this one dude in the damn neck, man. You could see the blood coming out and everything. I was like, hell yeah.
I'm super excited to see where this shit goes.
Yeah, dude.
man.
I like their chemistry. They're really good together.
Yeah, they are. And their chemistry with Zemo.
Yeah.
Like all three of them together, it's like the fucking Odd Couple or Three
Yeah.
Men and a Baby. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Grumpy old
it's
man over here.
yeah, for real. And it's like if they don't do the Thunderbolts, please do another fucking series of Falcon and Winter Soldier with Zemo in it, so we can see these fuckheads get into some crazy shit.
When they were
Like,
walking up to the plane, he was like, "Oh, you're rich."
yeah,
"I'm
he's
a
like, well,
son
I
of a
was a
baron."
baron.
I mean,
Yeah, it's like, come
hello.
on, man.
The damn guy was like, "Here's some fucking champagne. We might have some food in here. The refrigerator's broken." He said, "Give it the smell test, and if it doesn't pass, let them have it."
Yeah,
Like,
right.
that's funny.
Just to fuck with them, though.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see what comes with this, and I think that like Falcon Winter Soldier, I have a feeling that Zemo might kill the new Captain America.
You
I
think that's
think
where?
that
Well, listen, like in that episode, he's like, "We're going after them because they have him now."
mhm.
So yeah, I could see that happening. And
Well, my reasoning is what does Walker have that Steve Rogers does, or what does he not have that Steve Rogers had? And that was the super soldier serum.
yeah.
So if he takes the super soldier serum,
Oh,
Zemo might be like, fuck you, and put a cap in his ass. That's all
maybe
I'm
that's why
thinking.
he was like, "We got to take some shit in our own hands."
Yeah. Maybe he heard about it. Maybe he knows that these kids have this and they, because
I think
the
when they were
girl even,
talking in the truck, he knew they were like, "They're super soldiers," and he was
yeah.
like, "You sure about that?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." I mean,
So
dude, that chick kicked his ass off that truck.
yeah,
You know,
without even thinking
he tossed that
twice.
shield under his buddy. I like how he's got his own little wingman.
Yeah.
You know?
His own Bucky.
Yeah.
So now I think that Zemo, and that would be a good reason to put his ass under the jail, even though that this new Captain America is a fuck boy.
Well, what would tie it up and make it to where people would be like, man, he tried to be Cap and failed, but good effort, because they keep making a point, because it's funny you guys brought up that he has his own Bucky. They keep making a point to show him.
Yeah.
And if WandaVision's shown us anything, is that Disney's not going to put up a scene that's going to be pointless or waste camera time on pointless stuff,
This goes back to what you were saying about Steve Rogers, man. Like, he had a good personality. Like, he was, you know what I mean? He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This dude right here's got a little bit of an ego.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
what's
a
gonna
good dude,
happen?
really.
Well, what might happen is that his buddy might get killed,
Oh,
Yeah.
and that could be the ego blow that makes him be like,
that could
I'm
drive
not
him
where
over
I
the
like.
edge. And be
Like
like,
I
I'm
don't know, it
fucking
just kind
Captain
of
America. What are you
kind of
gonna do
brings
to
him
me?
around full circle.
Yeah. So, whatever they decide to do, I'm cool with. I'm excited for where this series is going, and I mean, after this we get Loki, and I'm very excited about that as
Yeah.
well. So let's.
Do we have that trailer in here?
I
I'll
think
track it down if it's not. I'll look
no,
for
it's
it. Yeah, I'll get it because they dropped a trailer, like a good 2.5 minute trailer.
okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and segue into movie news if that's all right with you
Yeah.
fellas. All right, we've got a couple little things here that I just wanted to touch on, not a whole lot. So the Batman film, that Patton Robert P is in is going to take place on Earth 2. So it says here that a report has now confirmed that the Batman will be set in the alternate universe Earth 2, standing alone from the rest of the already established DCEU. As both DC and Marvel move towards exploring the idea of a cinematic multiverse, it has been confirmed in a recent report that director Matt Reeves' The Batman will be set in DCEU's Earth 2, an alternate Earth that will be familiar to comic book fans. This puts Robert Pattinson's Dark Knight in a completely separate universe to the likes of Ben Affleck's um, enabling the Batman to craft its own world away from the idea of a shared universe. Of course, the Batman could potentially one day cross over with the likes of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman and the rest of the Justice League, much like in the pages of DC Comics. The same report also claims that while the Batman will stand alone in Earth 2, DC is planning for its upcoming movies and shows to share the same universe. The news that the Batman is being set on Earth 2 away from the rest of the DCEU is further confirmation that the studio moving towards exploring the idea of a multiverse, which no doubt lead to all manner of comic book movie craziness. DC's Earth 2 will be familiar to fans of the comic book source material, having first appeared in the 60s as a way to establish the concept of a multiverse in the DC mythos. It should also be familiar to fans of the CW's DC shows, with Earth 2 making appearances in the likes of Arrow and The Flash. The Batman will evidently be the beginning of an Earth 2 shared universe, with a small screen spinoff already being planned based around the Gotham City Police Department, Gotham PD, with the intention for crossover with characters from Pattinson's big screen outing, including the likes of Jeffrey Wright as Batman ally Jim Gordon, where Joaquin Phoenix's Joker fits into proceedings as anyone's guess. Looking beyond the Batman, there have been ongoing rumors that J.J. Abrams and Tanishi Coates' upcoming Superman reboot will be set within the DCEU, but with the news that Earth 2 is being brought into the fray, it's very possible that the Batman and the new Superman will be set in the same alternate universe. This is further supported by other ongoing rumors surrounding Abrams' Superman, which claims that a black actor is being sought after for the new Man of Steel. This should have bells in the heads of DC fans ringing, as Earth 2 is known as the home of Val-Zod, one of the last Kryptonians of his universe and the second to use the mantle of Superman. Before any of these multiverse shenanigans, though, audiences are still awaiting the release of The Batman, which follows the early days of the Caped Crusader and focusing on a young Bruce Wayne who has become disheartened by the lack of impact he is having on crime in Gotham. Suddenly, Batman is needed more than ever when a series of murders occurs at the hands of the Riddler. So, that would be a very interesting take on. I think I'm okay with that because, like, to me, I don't think that they know what they're going to do with the Snyderverse stuff
We were
yet.
talking about this after that. We watched that.
Yeah.
We were talking about how, they don't want to do it because they have all these other projects. Well, it's like, yeah, but wait a minute, it's Earth 2. So I think this came up like they probably didn't even have that in mind for it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're like, well, wait, since we have that coming out, because they could release, those movies in the same year and it not be a
Yeah.
problem because it's different. Kind of like the dream he has at the end with the Joker. That's a different place and time. Like that's
Yeah.
so it'd be great.
Yeah, it would. So,
J.J.
I'm
Abrams
really
doing Superman, huh?
Black Superman, and they're saying that Michael B. Jordan may be cast as
That
Black
picture looks
Superman.
good.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I like
Yeah,
Michael B. Jordan as an actor. So, if that's the direction that they want to take, and this is Earth 2, and they're going to start their own little, DC universe type deal, that's fine. Just let us finish the Snyder stuff.
yes,
Let us get into Earth 2. The CW's already some crazy, ridiculous variation of the whole DC multiverse shit. So, like, it's already been established. Like, it being part of Earth 2 is nothing new. Like, it's nothing new to the whole idea of the multiverse. And, because we've got the CW shows that's been going on for years at this point. So, let's just ride it out and be, the way that I see it is, if the Snyderverse, if they allow him to continue that and finish that off, and then you have the Robert Pattinson Batman, and then J.J. Abrams Superman takes place in that universe, other content creators, other
mhm,
writers or directors come into this world and basically decide where they
yeah,
want their story, like where would it be best to fit into?
yeah,
Because the Snyderverse is very dark,
hmm,
but this Batman story also sounds like it's going to be very dark as well.
yeah,
Um, which is fine in my book. I don't care because Batman's a dark character. So whoever wants to come in, if they want to do a Robert Pattinson Batman film and they want to follow in the Earth 2 realm,
yeah,
let them do that. What they're going to have to do, I feel, is clearly label each film as the what universe that
yeah.
that film takes place in, because your average comic or your average moviegoer is
They're
going to
not
be
gonna
so
know.
yeah, they're going to be so fucking confused. I thought Ben Affleck was Batman.
Yeah,
Now the dude that jerked off at the lighthouse is Batman,
yeah.
and you know what I'm saying?
And the
And then
Joker's
we
trying to
get
give a reach around. What's happening?
yeah, yeah,
I thought
exactly. It's
Joaquin
like
Phoenix was the Joker. It's like that's a different place, different time, dude.
yeah, and they're going to have to clearly identify which universe that this takes place in order to be able to make it very easy for the casual moviegoer to identify what reality that they're in when they watch this film. Now that sounds very convoluted, but I think it can be easily accomplished.
Oh yeah,
I mean, moviegoers are already giving in and to the fact that a multiverse exists and they're okay with that, and time travel exists in these films
yeah,
and different outcomes. So like the it's not crazy. It's not far fetched. It's just how are they going to execute it? And if they executed it like they fucked up the Snyder shit, then it's going to be a complete clusterfuck. And whenever I talk to a relative about a DC comic film, they're going to have 1,000 questions, and I'm going to have to pull my SWAT board out and be like, okay, so this story and this, this character is this person in this universe. And anyway, what can you do? And like you've got like Joe Manganiello.
mm-hmm.
All right, he's on board with hashtags bring back
Yep,
Snyderverse or whatever it is. You've got The Rock. He's on board with it because he wants his version of the Atom,
yeah.
Black Adam, to be set in that world so that he can potentially fight Superman and like Henry
Oh,
Cavill Superman. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And that's the one I want to see him fight.
Yeah, because dude, like the only thing that fucks Superman up is kryptonite and magic. And Black Adam is one magical motherfucker. So, but anyway, we had a nice little April Fool's joke played on us by Mr. Bruce Campbell. Have y'all heard about this shit?
No.
This is fucking incredible, guys. So, Bruce Campbell won April Fool's Day this year by teasing the return of Ash from the Evil Dead series and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. With Bruce's old pal Sam Raimi helming the upcoming Marvel sequel, fans of the groovy one had expected him to show up in some fashion in the movie, given his tendency to cameo in most of Raimi's movies. Campbell has since confirmed having a role in the movie, though details of his character haven't been revealed. On April 1st, Bruce Campbell posted an image of a script page from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Oops, this slipped, Campbell writes in the caption, insinuating that the page is from a leaked scene from the sequel. In the scene, Doctor Strange is traversing through the multiverse when he finds himself alone in mist covered woods. Before he can determine where he is, a disheveled man emerges from a nearby cabin who has a chainsaw where his right hand should be. And then it goes into it from there. So I'll read the script pages. So Strange muttering, now where am I? He raises his hands to once again call upon the energy of the 12 moons of Monopore when the muffled sound of a chainsaw from behind causes him to turn around. The mist disperses to reveal a ramshackle cabin with a porch swing. Several windows are broken and two fist sized holes appear on the front door. The front door opens and a disheveled man steps through the doorway. Strange can't help but notice that the man has a chainsaw where his right hand should be. Strange readies his eldritch shields. Man, who the hell are you? Strange, I'm looking for the Darkhold. Man, never heard of it. Strange, it's an ancient book of magic, a grimoire of darkness and evil. Man, does it have a face on the cover? Strange lowers his shields. He wasn't prepared for such a response. Strange, no. And then it cuts, it cuts to it. Now, why can they not film this and put this
Yeah, it
shit?
would kind of be cool.
Wouldn't that be cool if Doctor Strange just happens to show up in the fucking Evil Dead universe for a split second? And he's just like, what the fuck? That's a pretty good little April Fool's joke. Like
Dude,
I follow Bruce Campbell on Twitter, but
he went all out. Like it's even got, when they give you a script, they put your name, they watermark it,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
watermarked.
yeah.
Like they went all out.
I bet I guarantee you what ended up happening was Sam Raimi probably wrote that as a joke for Bruce Campbell. And Bruce is like, "Oh, can I share this on fucking April Fools?" Because
Maybe it was
like,
something they wanted to do, but they were like, we can't do that.
yeah, yeah. But
Good joke.
what if they're putting it out there as a joke and
Just
it
to see
actually
what
makes
people say.
yeah, and it
They've
actually
done it
makes it
before.
yeah, right. So that would be fucking incredible if that actually came to fruition there, you know? And then last but certainly not least, Margot Robbie says there's a 20-hour cut of Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And this is what she had to say about it. There's a 20-hour cut of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood there's so much more that you didn't get to see that we shot that was amazing. And for a million reasons, obviously, can't make the cut. So it says Margot Robbie does not mention anything about the potential release of this extra footage or what it may contain or reveal. Tarantino, on the other hand, has confirmed that there is a lot of extra footage from the movie that may see the light of day via Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
He has, or at least had plans to cut Once Upon a Time in Hollywood into several episodes utilizing never before seen footage and turning it into an all new experience, much in the same way he turned The Hateful Eight into a streaming miniseries for Netflix. There's been no update on that in quite a while. But dude,
I'll watch it. I'll
I would
watch all
watch.
20. It's 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
20
I'll watch
episodes,
all.
hour each.
Yeah, do it. You know,
Because they did
more
cut
time.
out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right.
Like there were people that were supposed to be in the movie. You didn't even see the scenes with them.
Yeah, I know, right?
I
So like,
noticed something the other day when I was watching it. That was the second movie that I watched at the new place. The first one was Big Lebowski. Um, but while I was watching it, you remember that scene where he's on the show playing the heavy?
yeah,
He's like, "You Bronco, that Beaner Buster out of here,"
yeah, yeah,
Um, when the guy comes over and talks to him, the guy that it's his show, he's like, "I'm the lead actor. It's nice to have you here."
Yeah.
While they're talking, all of a sudden there's just a jump,
Yeah.
and the dude's got his hat on, and they're talking about something completely different. And I'm like, "What? What just happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, where did that go? What was said? Like,
Yeah.
but I'm all in on that.
I'm down, dude. More Tarantino is better
I think he'll
Tarantino.
do it.
Yeah.
He
Eventually
did it
it'll
with
happen.
Hateful Eight. It did
Yeah.
take a long time for that to come out, so
Yeah. I'd say within 5 years we may get that. So
yeah. And
why
he's
not?
already got a deal with Netflix. He put that other shit up, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. So let's do it, man.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah. Shit, I'm ready for these trailers, guys.
Yeah, boy.
It's been a little while since we watched some movie trailers, and I've been jonesing for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like a fucking crack fiend for these movie trailers over here, dude. You know, you know what I'm saying? We got some good. We finally got our first trailer for fucking Spiral from the Book of Saw.
This
I
is
mean,
the Chris Rock movie.
yeah,
Is he gonna be in the movie?
yeah. Wrote, direct, or he either wrote it or directed it, and he's starring in it.
I know he directed it, and I'm pretty sure he wrote it,
Yeah,
but I didn't know he
he's
was
trying
gonna
to.
be in it.
He's pulling a pill. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
going serious.
He's going, dude. You never go full pill
Yeah.
unless you're pill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
All right, let me get
but
that pulled up.
I don't know what this first fucking movie is, but it's got a old bitch from that fucking terrible singing movie that I fucking hate. Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, bitch. I
God,
mean, Pitch Perfect.
yeah, the pitches are back, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Wasn't
what
that the second one? Was that the tagline?
yeah, that's the tagline. Get the fuck out of here with that corny ass shit.
Yeah, we're not their market for those movies.
No. The pitches are back though, dude.
I'm a pitch. I'm a pitch.
I've already said that I would rather watch any movie. I would watch Hard to Be a God again over Pitch Perfect.
Wait, did I drop this trailer? Yeah. I've seen this trailer. I had to make
Which one?
sure it was. Let me put my comment.
Stowaway?
Yeah.
It sounds like a David Bowie song.
Hmm.
Stowaway, dude. Netflix official trailer.
All right, everybody good?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Netflix. This is a pretty good idea for a movie. Y'all check this out. He's one of the maintenance dudes.
What?
Yeah, he's not supposed to be on the ship.
Oh, it's that creepy bitch from fucking
Hereditary. See, he was inside that, passed out. Oh, they ain't no going back. Dude from Lost. Houston, we have a problem. and we just so happen to have 4. It's either that or die, right?
Yeah.
That damn claustrophobic space scene, you know?
Yeah.
All right, here's the thing.
That's pretty interesting.
If the 3 of us are on a ship and we got a
Rainer.
mission and this dude just happens to like be inside the panel, passed out, and then we're all talking and it's like we only got enough oxygen for the 3 of us. I mean, in the name of
Who's-
science,
Who's the other person?
we
Is it
don't know
Chet?
him. I mean, they don't know him. We don't know
okay.
him. I mean, it's
Well, can we say it's Chess in this
sure
situation?
he's still out. You know? I mean, here's the thing, dude. He's a maintenance worker. He's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not growing potatoes on Mars.
But to be fair, in his defense, to be able to be a maintenance person for a spaceship,
He's an engineer.
you've gotta have
Yeah.
some sort of intelligence there.
All right. Well, what do? We draw straws.
I think that we just hold our breath and whoever passes out first is out.
I'm big bone, dude. I gotta breathe. You know what I'm saying?
I breathe through my nose. I'd cheat anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be like, your stomach's moving.
Yeah. It's like, no, it's not.
That's an interesting idea, though.
It's a very interesting idea,
Yeah,
and I wouldn't mind
different.
checking that out. I like a good space movie. Space madness.
Nice.
Spies. All right, I'm ready for Suicide Squad Red Band trailer.
Have you seen this?
Tab? Jinx.
Travis?
What was said?
Huh?
No, like y'all both literally said it at the same time, so I didn't know what was said.
Go ahead, Griffin.
Have you
Oh,
seen?
have I seen?
Suicide-
No, I haven't. I
Oh, okay.
haven't.
All right.
No.
An
I think you
island
might
might
of
be
dicks.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. It actually looks pretty good. I like the way it's shot.
Yeah.
Do your dirty
I
work.
love-
Look at this motherfucker. It's got that. What's that other movie he did?
Guardians.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even down to the music. It'll be Suicide Squad Volume 1, the mix.
Yeah.
Check it out, dude. It's Peter Capaldi. Look at me, Hector. Nope, probably nope. I like how they're acting like that other movie just didn't come out.
I know, right?
I feel like we got so many members because there's so many people gonna die doing these missions.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like it looks like he's keeping it faithful to the comics that like, you know, motherfuckers die by the end of an issue, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
So the next trailer is the one they dropped a week later. Trailer number
Yeah,
2.
I haven't seen this one yet, but I'm excited.
Alright, ready?
Yeah, I'm doing my comment. Drops August the 6th. Hell yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. This one's a little darker. Peter Pauly's gonna kill it, dude.
Yeah.
They took the for fuck's sake out.
Yeah.
Dude looked like Noel Fielding in that one scene. Is that the Wolverine chick?
Maybe.
I think it was. Yeah, it was her. That's the one that was in that X-Men movie too, the doctor. Look at this shit. He's killing it, dude. They're dying to save the world. Fuck is that?
That's some fucking crazy shit.
I think with that trailer, they were trying to show you that this one's not going to suffer from what the first one had, you know, with the little funny song cut over it. And
Yeah.
it's like, let's drop a serious trailer.
It actually looks really fucking good,
It
man.
does, dude. John Cena, man.
He's killing it.
Yeah, dude. He said if this island was covered with dicks and I had to eat every one of them to save the world, I'd do it. No problemo.
He said, I cherish justice or peace. I kill any man, woman, or child. It's like, whoa.
Have y'all seen this trailer?
No, I haven't watched the Space Jam trailer, no.
I watched
kinda-
some to make sure it was real,
Mm,
and it's real.
is it real?
Ready Player Space Jam.
Oh, okay.
You'll see what
Let's-
I mean by that.
Well, let's do it. Let's check it out.
You ready, Trav?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Look at LeBron's house. I bet Will Smith ain't got to deal with this.
The fuck?
Open the Bifrost. Don Cheadle.
Oh shit. Iron Giant, King Kong.
It's the Iron Giant, dude.
It's King Kong.
See, it's almost like he's in that Ready Player One thing. Like,
Yeah. What?
It don't look bad.
No.
It looks like a solid little family movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely updated. Got the
It's
new
crazy
graphics.
that everybody's showing up to watch.
Yeah, he
the
was like, I need
spaceship.
Iron Giant.
Yeah, King Kong.
All them leftover assets from Ready Player One. They were like, "Can we load them into our movie?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it
Spielberg's
looked like.
"Oh,
Like,
yeah. Flintstones were showing up. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, they were like, "Man, I know it's Warner Brothers, but we're just gonna be Hanna Barbera too."
I'll see if the Jetsons show up and Captain Caveman.
Going to watch basketball.
Monster. Now this isn't the movie with
Charlie Theron.
no. It's not that movie, is it?
No,
No,
It's got John
of
David
course
Washington
not.
in it
it's
though.
a Netflix movie.
JD Washington, as I'm gonna call just let him know that I'm gonna call him
Okay.
JD.
JD.
But I'm pretty sure he's the dude from Tenet, right?
I think so.
I think so.
Let me see.
Let,
It
let's
is.
check it out and see. Yeah.
It's him.
JD.
I'll let him know what you're gonna call him, JD.
All right, just let him know. If he's not cool with it, let me know.
Are y'all
But
ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Hold on, let me check my email. Good.
You good
I'm
there,
good.
JD? 3, 2, 1, play. And it's got the dude from Westworld. Executive producer John Legend.
Oh, that's the guy
Horny Toad.
turned into a horny toad.
That dude's a rapper.
That dude?
Yeah. I don't remember his name, but he's a rapper. It's like a drama right here. There he is.
Oh, he's a thug.
Magnificent. Oh, he's in jail. Wrong place, wrong time. I bet it's like a wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
he didn't commit the crime, but he's pinned with it. Depends on what you do. Murder an
There it is.
entire family. It's like, nah, we're gonna take it easy on you.
Yeah.
Give you a
It
little
look,
something,
hey,
something.
I like a good drama, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. All right, mainstream. This has got Spider-Man in it.
Garfield.
Yeah. So I'm interested.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, for real. It's been a hot minute, ain't it?
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ready?
3, 2, 1, play. Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
You're Spider-Man. What?
Are they role playing? Oh, he's an influencer. He looks like an influencer.
Yeah.
This is the Logan Paul biopic.
Is it?
No. That was Jake Paul. So it may be kind of loosely based on him. Like he's always on.
Yeah.
Huh.
It looks pretty
Yeah.
interesting. It's a different take on that, you
For
know?
sure.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll probably check it out.
Now we got the spiral. Let's see what the spiral about. Chris Rock, Sam Jackson. I'm tired of these motherfucking puzzles
Yeah.
in this motherfucking
Motherfucking
you know what I'm saying?
warehouse.
I'm tired of this motherfucking games with this motherfucking doll.
What if he's the voice of Saw? He's like, I want to play a motherfucking game with you.
I would totally be all right with that, man.
You keep
Like, for
posting
real.
sad, vague shit on Facebook all day, talking about how you want to die. Well, now, motherfucker, you gonna have to live.
Yeah. Now this is a reboot, right?
I think it's it's like a
Just hit
yeah.
play and figure it the fuck out, because I
Alright.
don't even know.
3, 2,
The
1,
book of
play.
Saul?
think I remember
What does that
reading it
even
was
mean?
I mean,
he's a cop. Oh, dude. He's like covering the case, I think. Got a 7 kind of vibe, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he supposed to be like the older Danny Glover?
Possibly.
Yeah, dude, it's got that 7 kind of vibe. He's fucking with the cops. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
I see what they're going for.
Yeah. I got so burnt out on those Saw movies. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. We got Without Remorse here next.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Prime Video.
I'll let him know what you're going to call him, MBJ.
MBJ. We are the new PB&J.
MBJ, yeah. Try ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. He's about to go fucking.
Bronson on
Yeah.
the ass.
Yeah, dude. You fucking fuck.
Yeah.
Sounds like be humble. It's like an over the top action movie.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy. All right.
That's cool. I've watched a couple of Tom Clancy films, you know. I watched some more.
Yeah, didn't was it Tom Cruise
Mm-hmm.
that did the Tom Clancy's? What was that? What was that series? It wasn't Mission Impossible, was it?
No.
What was that? There was some kind of Clancy movies that he did, right? Might be
Yeah, but
wrong.
because he was playing the same character as Jim from The Office.
Mm-hmm.
There
Oh
was like,
yeah.
yeah, I can't remember.
Fuck. I actually heard that was good.
Yeah, I heard it was too. My brother watched it. He said it was really good.
Can't remember the name of it.
No, because there was like 2 or 3 movies and then that series, and there was a different actor that played that same character. But I can't. I know that Tom Cruise was one. Was Chris Pine one? Maybe. I don't know. I have to do some deep diving on TC's catalog.
TC?
Yeah, Tom Clancy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tom Cruise.
No, Tyler Childers. There's too many of them.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Jack Ryan.
That's
yeah,
right.
That's right.
Tom Cruise played Jack Ryan,
Yeah,
but it was a movie and not a series.
yeah.
TC.
All right, together, we got Ed Helms here. Let's see how this looks. Is it going to be a comedy or a dramedy?
It's got to be a comedy, right?
It might be a dramedy, dude. Let's find out.
I just always picture him from The Hangover with his tooth knocked out.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only image of him I have. Like,
Yeah, playing that piano.
yeah, oh shit.
What do tigers dream of when they take a little tiger snooze?
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah, dude.
Red Trail.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, play. This has got a weird look to it, like a. He's that awkward dude. Oh, they're gonna fall in love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hooking up. Like I already know how this movie's gonna play out.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I've seen it already.
The fuck? Yeah, it's a romantic comedy. I like this comment. This is some weird mid 2000s plot movie that's trying really hard to exist in the 2020s.
Yeah. Did y'all recognize that guy she was talking when he was walked up? And he's like, "Did you just bang?" He's like, "Is this your uncle? That's Toad from Days of Future Past."
Is it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I just looked it up. I was like, "Man,
Okay.
that guy looks familiar." And I went and looked. I'm like, "Oh, okay. He was an X-Men.
Makes sense. Yeah.
He played a Toad. He kind of looks like a Toad."
Yeah. I'm very excited for this this animated Batman film. Like they haven't done Hush yet, right, Trav?
Mm-mm.
So The Long Halloween and Hush were like two, and The Dark Knight Returns obviously are like some of my favorite, Batman
Oh wait,
stories.
I take that back. They have adapted Hush, by the way.
Have they?
Yes.
See, I haven't watched that. I need to watch it because I love that story a lot. So, um, but I'm glad they're doing The Long Halloween. And I always thought The Long Halloween would make a fantastic live action film. Um, but it's great that they're doing an
Yeah, at
animated
least it's
version.
getting made.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited though.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1, play. Sure you can. God damn. Oh, know who that is?
Know what that means?
I've always liked their animation style.
Yeah.
Well, Harvey Dent.
I'm down.
Oh, yeah. I got to put this in here. Something to say about that when we get to it. But yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, I'm excited to check that out. I'm very excited, very excited, very excited. I'm very excited.
So I
Channel
like
my
forgot that Owen Wilson was in this movie.
in Loki.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he plays the guy. He's like, wow.
yeah. Wow, your brother's Thor. Wow. Are you like adopted or how does that work? The Bifrost. Wow.
Yeah, it could take you to other planets and other planes of
Wow.
wow.
Wow. And Loki's like, you've said too many wows, you know?
Yeah, you need to stop that right now.
One more wow and I'm gonna cut your head off.
You're gonna kill me?
Wow, wow. Animosity, wow. Anger.
Mm.
Pipe down, pipe down. All right.
I'm ready to check this out.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Wow.
I really
Naked.
like the character, so I'm glad he's getting his own
Yeah.
little arc here.
Wow.
Nice mustache.
Oh,
Gotta add that to the pile. So he's been in there narking? Oh. Dude, what year are they in? Look at all the tech, man. He's in the past. Y'all noticing the tube TVs?
yeah. Well, they're jumping between realities.
Wow. Look at the budget, man. Yeah, like look at the like the 50s, dude. 60s or something there. Disney's fucking killing it, man.
So, from what I gathered from that, Owen Wilson, wow, is
Yeah.
working for an organization kind of like the organization from the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah,
And
like
there's all
fixers
these,
and
there's all these tangent universes like that has shot off from the main timeline that he's having to go to and correct to get them back into the current timeline. That's kind of how it looked whenever that one tube TV where it had that, squiggly
yeah.
line, and then it had all these like branches coming
Oh
off of
yeah,
it.
he's like, we got to get everything back together.
Yeah, because the Avengers going back and
Split everything.
Endgame, yeah, it made a huge fork right there, but the
Yeah,
implications of that probably rippled through time.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Right, dude. I hope he says it at least once.
I know, right? I'll be so disappointed if he doesn't.
Wow, he's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
So, this Black Widow trailer.
Yeah.
What I noticed is when you pull this up, and Marvel put this up a few days ago, exactly almost a year ago, we saw the first trailer, trailer one.
Yeah.
Because then, Pandy happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, wow, Pandy. What was that earlier? It was like pandemic. When you're reading that article, I can't remember what it said, but I was like, never mind. But
Wow.
almost a year later,
Yeah.
we finally get a trailer. Well, another trailer. I don't think there's a lot of hype for this movie, man. I think it's, I mean, I'm
Well,
gonna watch it.
I think that like it probably would have been better if this came out when it was supposed to because
Yes,
it was fresh off the heels of Endgame
yes.
and Infinity War.
The hype's kind of
So,
died down a little,
yeah, wow.
Hmm.
But I'm ready to check it out though.
Yeah, yeah. You ready, Trav?
And don't it have the
Yeah.
chick from Midsummer in it?
I know it's got dude from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Wait, the blonde chick?
Yeah. I think Florence
Oh,
Pug. I think
Pug.
that's her name.
Change it.
Pugh.
Wow, change it. Pug's your last name? Wow. Unique. You know how he's always like
Yeah.
his little bickering that he does back and forth with people?
Yeah. But to himself though, more than to anybody else. He's just like a mumbler.
Well, like him, wasn't he in that Shanghai Noon?
Yeah.
And just his back and forth, he's like, "Wow, you're like a karate man. You're like a, wow,
But
you're
Jackie
really
Chan don't
awesome."
have time for that bullshit, you
He's
know?
like, "God,
He's like, I'm John Wayne.
yeah, terrible cowboy name." That's what he said. Terrible cowboy name. All right.
I'm ready for this trailer, man.
Black Widow. This dropped a few days ago. I'm guessing the movie comes out soon. This is straight to streaming, right?
Yes.
Oh, they'll do some theaters. July 9th. That's still, fuck. All
Wow.
right. 3, 2, 1, play. I think we're going to get some footage we didn't get in the others, though. Recycled footage. That was fucked up when that happened.
Yeah.
Is that her?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
that's her,
her.
dude.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Well, if there's all these splits in time, couldn't she be alive somewhere?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. I was going to say wow again, but this one's a little more serious than the other trailer. Remember the other trailer was like funny? Who's the bad guy?
Taskmaster.
It's gonna be
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see that how they utilize him.
Dude, he was the villain in that game.
Yeah.
Marvel game? Because they fight him on a bridge, which looks like happens here.
The whole shtick is that like he can memorize fighting
Yeah.
styles.
So you got to do something different every time you attack him because he'll mirror your shit. And I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. I think that he was one of the members as well of the Thunderbolts
Oh shit.
trap. So, I mean, we got Zemo. We might have Red Hulk, him. I mean, so they can round that cast out, you know? Wow.
Yeah, man. I think when you were reading that off the other night, I'm pretty sure you said his name
Yeah, I
when
think
you were on
yeah.
the list. So, Mortal Kombat doesn't drop until the 16th.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
which
like
is next Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was supposed to be our next viewing, right?
Yeah, that's our next major viewing for sure.
Let's see. Do we got anything?
Is there any honorable mentions to watch in the meantime?
I don't know. What do we got?
Mm.
I'm gonna go ahead and remove these. Y'all want to do the gray version of the Justice League? I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
would
down.
be totally
Oh.
fine with that.
I mean,
I'm fucking content with that.
do y'all want to watch it? I mean,
Let's
see if there's anything, and then if not, I mean,
well, let's bring the list up. How about that?
all right.
We've got the list here of
What
shit
list?
to watch. To watch.
On our movie list thread there,
Yeah,
I just deleted all those because we've seen them.
No, this is on the spreadsheet.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
yeah. So, I mean, I've got a lot of shit on here.
oh man, we haven't pulled from the sheet in a while.
I know, right? What about Whiplash?
I mean, I like it.
I mean, we haven't done Whiplash on the pod before.
We haven't. A lot of
So,
fucking movies on here.
yeah, right.
That's the number one on my damn list.
Is there any other ones that are jumping out? I mean, We've got.
Wait, what about Chaos Walking?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, let's do that.
That's out now.
Yeah, it's available. It's been acquired.
Yeah, it's weird how that just dropped all of a sudden, though, like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah,
it's available.
I'm cool with that. Are
It's
you
kind of
cool
got
with
me
that, Trav?
worried.
Yeah, Bible me.
This is the one with Cherry, Tom
Yeah,
Holland, and
Tom
Daisy
Holland.
Ridley.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's see what the. And I don't know what the score looking to. I still want to see it. Yeah, it's all right. It's got a good Google user review.
Yeah.
22 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I heard in one of the movie news things, and it wasn't significant enough to drop into the thing, but there's rumors going around that Daisy Ridley may be cast as Spider-Woman.
Hey,
And she come out and addressed the rumors that said that since Star Wars is over, she wants into the Marvel universe.
yeah,
So,
job security.
and I'm perfectly fine with that. I think that she was fine. You
Yeah, I
know?
like her.
Yeah. So, and I think that she would be good in that position in that film. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm cool with. Let's do
Yeah,
Chaos Walking.
I forgot that
We'll
was
do-
out.
Yeah, me too. We can do that other episode of Falcon Winter Soldier and prepare for Mortal Kombat.
What's
Mortal
crazy, dude, is
Kombat.
it's been out for it dropped March the 5th.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know
That was
that.
an honest wow. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we'll do that. Then we'll do Mortal Kombat. The TV show.
Yeah.
Come back with Falcon Winter Soldier. Episode
I'm
4.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's chalk it up right there.
Chaos Walking.
Yeah.
Keep it
It's
real.
Tom Holland.
Wow.
Keep it.
I'm